Welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Steve Archibeque, the head women's coach at La Cueva High School in volleyball, and also the 2022 District 5, or not District 5, but 5 state champions of New Mexico.
Yep, had a great season.
Tell you what, I mean, this was 3 weeks ago. We were sitting right here in the same place, and I said, if you win, you better be here on that following Tuesday. And I got that text to you, and you're here right now.
Yep, I think it was a great fortune, telling, and you basically said, hey, let's meet back the Tuesday after and do it all again. I said, let's do it. So,
well, I tell you, let's just pick up where we left off. I mean, we were on a Tuesday. That day you were going up to Farmington, road trip. Kind of talk about your road trip, and then on that following week, I think it was Friday or Thursday or Friday that you played El Dorado.
Yeah, we headed up to Farmington that Tuesday afternoon. Had Farmington in the evening. Came back and streak was still going. We had Eldo. We knew that was a big match because that's always a rivalry with La Cueva, and that was at their place. And we took care of business. Kind of started playing really, really well, and then just kind of went into the seedings for state, and then it all happened last weekend.
Well, then you had your Sunday. You called and had your selection seeding show, and it was no doubt that y'all were number one. And then it was just a matter of where you sat in the bracket, and it was, when you saw the bracket, did you still feel even more confident this was a reality that this could happen?
When I looked at the bracket, I saw, okay, it looks favorable for us. It looked like a good bracket. The one obstacle that we always have is Centennial. Centennial just always puts up a great fight. That was my kind of thinking, okay, if we can get past Centennial, then it all happen. And I looked at that. I kind of thought, okay, Centennial could be 3 or could be 4, and I figured just with their loss previously to Las Cruces that they were going to be the 4, and that's who we would have to meet in the quarterfinals.
Well, you had El Dorado. You just played them.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts? I mean, I'm just saying that's not. Both teams well scouted. You just played each other,
right.
And did you do anything to tweak that game, or did you just come out and just say we're just going to go out and come out what we did the following week?
You know what? We had the same game plan. We knew they had Reese Russell was their big gun, and if we just kind of focused on looking at what we did the weekend before, the Thursday before, how to contain her, and if we kept to that same game plan, we'd be okay. We knew that probably 75-80% of the balls are going to go to her, and if we could keep them out of system, we were okay. And it was the same game plan that we had the Thursday before.
Did they change anything on you? Did they throw any surprises at you during that game, or did they just came and thought that they could come through and beat you?
It looked like they came with the same game plan as well. They previously, when we had played them, they were doing some adjustments the first time. This time they kept the same game plan that they had the first time, and they were trying to go after our big hitter Ella with serve receive, and she was just sound and getting the passing. They basically, I think where we got them was just we contained Reese. We knew she was going to get her kills. We knew that she was going to get as many balls as she could, and if we could keep them out of system, we'd be okay. And that's kind of what ended up happening is we just kept them out of system.
Well, you played that game, if I'm correct, on a Thursday at 4:45, and then the next day, the team that you're concerned about, an early morning game or
right.
mid-morning afternoon game. You play Centennial, and you made that statement earlier and even last week. Is the good thing about being a Metro team and having the state tournaments is you get to sleep in your own bed. So walk us through your day on Friday morning.
So yeah, Friday morning we basically we all got together at La Cueva, and that's where we do our serve and pass. We did that for about an hour, kind
So
of.
you actually went to
Yeah.
it-
Every morning, right before every game, we do our serve and pass. It's usually about, and that's kind of like our warm up, because we know that we can't really do any warm up at the event center. So we do a warm up, kind of like a basketball walkthrough. We actually go through our stretch, our middles hitting, our outsides hitting, some serve receive, all that kind of stuff. Then we have a light breakfast, and then our parents take us up to the event center, and then we play.
I was going to say, nutrition on this is a lot, and so y'all have that timing of eating actually worked out great for you because of the schedule.
Yeah, we basically order, the girls send in an order of a Panera, either, like a bagel or a light breakfast, yogurt, and then they have that right as soon as we're done to serve and pass and head up to the event center, and, just get ready. We don't really want to get them too full, and a lot of them, they don't eat breakfast, and so we want to make sure that they have a little bit of a light nutrition before we head up to the game.
Centennial, let's talk about Centennial. You're there. I mean, your concern and going into that, what was your concern about them?
The concern about Centennial is we had played them twice previously, and to beat a really good team 3 times is really difficult. And our game plan was Tess. Is basically we knew we had to go out after Tess Fuqua, who's committed to Arizona, just signed her national letter of intent yesterday. And if we could we knew we had to serve her, we had to block her, we had to do everything just to contain her, and we had to make adjustments. And finally, I think in the 3rd and 4th set, we made some adjustments. We triple blocked her. She started kind of not really freaking out, but she started not taking as big of a swings. She started roll shotting and just giving us the ball back, hitting a lot out, and we were able to capitalize on that. Tess is just a great player, and they have some other good players, but if we could contain Tess and really go after her, tie her down, we knew that we could win the match. They had another outside that did really, really well, and she kind of gave us fits towards the end. But I mean, I just have so much offense that we just kept on whittling away at the net and just pounding the ball, and they couldn't get it back to us or block us or actually dig us. So it was a good match.
Well, I tell you, we're going to go to the Dream Style Top 10 Plays of the Week, and we're going to pick up on Friday on Championship Day.
All right.
So we approach the halfway point of the second half. Penny Hashkin's behind the defense now. A chance to knock this. It's a 2-goal game as Penny Hashigan gets a beauty from her sister Maddie Hashigan.
Well, here it's still 14-7, 3rd and 15. Montoya is just a draw. Stovall breaks one. He gets a block, and there it is, first down. How about Stovall? But I'll tell you what, it was the block of Makai Gonzalez that sprung that one free.
Stiffness in the ball we have today.
Pascal-Bell's going to keep it. He's a huge hole up the middle. Now he cuts to the sideline. He's got one more man to beat. Pascal-Bell is going to go in for a touchdown. No, he marks him short.
For her team, she feeds that one.
Wow, great ball, Ed.
Savannah Sanchez, can she get number 2? She dishes it to Solis.
Unselfish. How unselfish was that play?
Amazing.
What a beautiful ball dished off for the guaranteed goal. I love it.
it at the top. They'll hand it up the middle instead. Huge hole. He's shot out of a cannon, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Andres Villalobos.
Castro, there's a screen. It's complete. Oh, he escaped the first tackler. Breaks the tackle. Nothing but green. Rumbling. Stumbling. He could go all the way. That kid is sizes up the end zone for 6.
Interception right into the hands of Gabe Pino, and Pino's off to the races. It's a touchdown for Volcano Vista. It's a pick 6 for Pino. Fire scored on a 47-yard run for Villalobos. The extra point was no good. It's 14-6. Matched off. Byron Cooper alongside 30-yard line for this one starter. Going to keep it. This is Cordova looking for some room. Cordova's got some room. He cuts back up the middle. Can they chase him down? No. T-Sizzle is going to the house. It's a touchdown for Tristan Cordova.
Lovington can be dangerous from here.
We'll see what they do. Lucas Contreras. He goes for goal, and he's got it! He's done that twice in his career, and this time it puts his team ahead on the Hope Christian Huskies. And welcome back here. Right on time for the second half. He goes for goal, and he makes it!
Are you kidding me? Brian Ramirez saw the keeper sleeping, and he just did him right off the kickoff. Oh my goodness.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. We got Steve Archibeque here. You know, congratulations again on being Class 5A 2022 volleyball state champions. How does that feel?
Feels great.
Hey, you know what? Let's go back-to-back state champions too.
Yeah, we're back-to-back. Fortunate, 21 and 22. Got 2 state championships with some great players.
And the 47-game win. I had to throw that in because I know you don't want to talk about it. You take each game at a time, but you know what? That's your last loss was to Ciebla, and you know we didn't talk about that. You know when we sat down here 2 weeks ago, is that one of the teams you're concerned about was Ciebla, and you had to play them with it.
No, it's fortunate that we didn't have to play them because they are a dangerous team. They were young, they were potent, and they always gave us fits this year. So I was glad that we didn't have to cross paths with Ciebla.
Well, we get through Friday night, and then it's championship day Saturday, and you have a game against Cleveland, a team that, from my standpoint, was probably one of the hottest. And we had discussed it. That's a team that when they get hot, they're hard to beat. And walk us through those matches and what your thoughts were.
We knew we had Cleveland. Friday night, and after watching them against Rio Rancho, it was I knew that they were going to come out fighting, and they always give us a tough game. We were a little bit apprehensive in the beginning because we were just that noon game, or it was my girls were tired, and they came out a little bit with nerves, and it kind of started out that way, and then we just kind of fell into a groove and just picked it up. And I think my size, even though they're a big team as well, my size and my offense just took over that game and controlled them. They couldn't get themselves into a groove, and even though they were trying to really set their middles and go after us in the middle, they couldn't get the passing to the middle, to their setter to get the middle done, and we were just blocking their outsides, which was fortunate. We just took control of that match, and I think it was we were able to get out there with a 3-0, get some rest, and then head back for Cruces.
Well, it was a kind of just was your team focused the whole time? Was like, all right, we won the game, which is, the thing that I watch with any women's sport, okay, and it is, if they win, they're crying. If they lose, they're crying. So you don't, if you're a spectator, you don't know if they won or lost a lot of the times because of the emotion that comes. So you win that. How were you as far as your leaders, and what did they have to do for that afternoon?
They were excited. They were excited to get back in the finals, and they were focused. After the Cleveland win, I could see on their face that they were ready for the finals, and we had a little bit of a break. The girls just kind of talked about it. We kind of came up with a game plan. They wanted to watch a little bit of the Cruces Cibola match and see who they were going to play, and immediately when we got back in, they started giving me their game plan for the Cruces and what they were gonna do. So they were ready to play. They were ready to play right then and there, even though we had like a 4-hour break. But I think with this team has always been just laser focused about one game at a time and getting ready for their opponent.
Well, did you learn anything from them when they going into the finals? I mean, was it everything that you talked about, or did they bring some points up
No, they saw some things that we hadn't been able, as coaches, hadn't seen. We knew that we were going to go after their freshman hitter, and if we could break her down, that would probably be our key to the game. But they saw some things on the Cruces defense that they were going to attack, and they knew that there were some holes that we could go after, and so that was good. They were actually doing a lot of some good scouting, as the coaches usually try to do that. They were up there, and they found some things, and we talked about that.
Going into the game, I mean, there's games going on across the court. It's a little different. Is that a distraction to you, or anything, when other games are being played on the side courts?
You know what? I think the girls definitely don't have any distractions with it because they're just used to playing the way the club tournaments are. It's one match right next to another.
So they're
match.
used to that
They're
format.
used to that. Yeah, they're used to
How about you? I mean, can you hear? I mean, that's the thing, and hearing whistles.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done that in basketball when we had basketball where you have multiple games going on, but sometimes you hear a whistle and sometimes the players just stop.
Right. Well, I think the girls are used to it. Me, it's a different, because sometimes I do get distracted of what's going on in the other courts, or seeing what with the multiple courts or anything, or you hear a whistle and you think it's our court, like you said. The girls are used to it and just playing in that club format. So I think, and the good thing is that they moved the court was supposed to be 3A was supposed to be on court 2. They moved it to give us a little bit of space so that we would have that extra court in between, which was helpful. I don't think that we really had any distraction with the other game going on.
Well, I tell you, ProView and MMA and NFHS, we did, I think, 15 games that day, and it was really with no hitch. I mean, and from my standpoint, that justifies, showed the talent. We started at 8 o'clock and went all the way up to 6 or 7 o'clock and finish it up. But talk about the attendance and the spirit that La Cueva brought.
Oh, it was awesome for the finals. I mean, we looked up and the stands were full. The parents were great. Our student section came out, cheerleaders. It was an awesome experience just to have that and the support behind us and the cheering that went on. And last year we had a big crowd. Cleveland had a big crowd, and Cleveland was, was pretty vocal. This year, all you could hear was La Cueva. Unfortunately, Las Cruces had to travel up. They didn't have a big crowd, so that was advantage La Cueva.
I tell you, we're going to take a little break, and we're going to come back and show some highlights of that Saturday, and also see that great speech at the end.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. I got Steve Archibeque here, and now we're going to talk about and watch little highlights. And if Aaron will be glad to get this started off on the championship game. And I'll let you talk.
Yeah, it was a really good serve. Sophia Montez and the ace. I think that was a critical portion. Cruces had kind of made a little run. Ella Sanders with a great kill. She's been our stud all season. Fast offense, great hitter, great defense. Just another kill from Ella.
So how important is it to win that first set?
You know what? It's important to get that momentum coming in into the next set, and it seems like all season long we lose that second set, and we just bounce back in the third. But you know, that number 6 for Las Cruces is she's going to be a stud. She's only a freshman, and she was giving us fits all game. That's her sister, the setter, Karina Worley, with a great serve, ace. She's only a sophomore, and she's going to be fortunate for me back for 2 more years. And I guess this is the third set, and we kind of cruised along. And Mara Holler with a kill there.
So we have 1 and 2, so it worked out just the way it's seeded
bracket,
out. The bracketology worked. So
yeah, and I honestly, these were the 2 best teams all year. Cruces and us. We basically we saw them twice. We saw them in the Rio Rancho tournament and also down in their place. And they're a great squad, really young. They're only losing 2 seniors.
So you're close right here, and you're into this set here.
Yeah, I think this is the final set,
right.
And they made a run, and they got it to 18-20, and we had a kill by Sophie Douche, also a sophomore. And at this point, we just kind of chipped away and went in. And then Olivia Archuleta with the ace to end the game. And the celebration.
Well, what's going through your mind as we right here, right at this point?
You know, I was just happy. I was so happy that this accomplishment. And like I told you all season, we'd never talked about the being undefeated, the 0 losses, and at that point it just sunk in. We did it.
Did you talk about being undefeated afterwards, and talk about next year?
We talked about it once or twice throughout the season, and you know, one girl was, "Hey, we're undefeated." I said, "Don't talk about it." So, because you know, anybody can be beaten on any given night, and I just didn't want to talk about that being undefeated. And at the end of the season, when we won that. When we won the championship, I realized at 27-0, it's a hard feat to accomplish, but we did it.
Let's hear what you had to say after the game, and I don't even know if you remember what you
I
had
don't.
to do. So you'll get to we'll just listen to it. We won't talk over it. So
Coach Archibeque, I mean, when you came to La Cueva, there was no state championships for volleyball in the trophy case. You've now got 5. What does it feel like to get number 5 for the program and for the school and the community?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's just I think I built a program, and we're having some success. This one is just as special as the first one. I think the first one we got the monkey off our back and got that first championship. We came close. Now it's just we're kind of putting things together, and we're a dominant team. I hate to say that, and I hate to use that word, but we've been dominant for the last couple of years. And it's special. I mean, I think I have great kids and I have a great community, so and it runs well.
And so, Coach, in the last 20 years, 4 teams have gotten undefeated and taken the state championship. 3 of them are your team. So what does it take to build a season like this to get another one 26-0?
It starts from the summer. I mean, we just we plug along. We do a lot of conditioning. We do a lot of weight training. And we just continue it, and we have grit. And I think that's just, the girls that come out for the program, they know it's a winning program and they want to be part of that tradition, and so they're willing to work hard. And I've got girls that they're willing to put in that extra work, and that's what showed tonight.
So you talk about that tradition. I mean, you always seem to, you graduate off some great players and all of a sudden some new ones crop up. So where do how do you build up such a great program every year on year?
Well, I think it starts with, just doing a lot of stuff in the summer, getting the girls acclimated to the system. And I'm fortunate, as some other schools in the city, I have 95% of my girls play club, so they're playing volleyball year-round. And so when they get to me, they've got a lot more skills than some other schools. And so I just kind of develop that and mold it, and it works.
Hey, Coach, congratulations.
What do you think of your interview there?
You
had a lot of good composure. I mean, you were very stoic on that. So.
Yeah, I'm surprised because there was a lot of emotion going through my head at that time.
And I think, Aaron, that's where I'm going to go with this is it's over. Now you got to start over. And what do you lose from this team going forward for next year?
I lose, like I said earlier, my big outside hitter, Ella Sanders, is going to be hard to replace. She came to us and she's just been phenomenal. And then I lose a couple of DSs, an outside or a right side hitter, but I have plenty in the cover to replace, so I'll be able to be okay next year. I think we should be in contention next year as well. Ella's going to be hard to replace, but I think I have some young JV that's going to come in and fill a bunch of those spots, and then I have a lot of returners.
Well, I think the word is reload. All you're doing is reloading. you're building that. You have your. Everything's going well for the look way what you've done. So you're just reloading. So we should we should be sitting back here in 2023.
I hope so. I do have the talent, and to be honest, I do have the talent to be in contention right up there, top 3 team next year. As long as we stay healthy and everything comes along, we should be there.
Well, Steve, hey, thanks for coming on, and also congratulations for a great year, and
Thank
also
you.
being the class. The Class 5A girls volleyball 2022 state champions.
Thank you.